Welcome to Toffee TV. Well, lots of rumours around about Idrissa Gana Gueye. Is he coming back to Everton? Well, it certainly seems like he might be. So it's time to see whether he is going to improve Everton. It's time to have a little chat about it, like we've done with a lot of potential signings this summer. Will Idrissa Gana Gueye improve Everton? Ned, do you think, just with the eye test, do you think Idrissa Gana Gueye will improve Everton?
Yes, and I think out of all the players we've looked at, whether they do improve Everton, I think he's probably the most, certified one to improve Everton. I'd say we've looked at some players who, well, obviously the thing with Gana Gueye is he's already played for Everton. And I think he's not like, he's in his 30s now. I think he's 32, but he's not like at an age where he's past it. If anything, he's probably a better player than he was when he left. He's gone and played with top players at PSG. He's gone and won stuff. He's probably adapted his games in terms of players he's playing with, the position he's been playing in. He's took more of an attacking role, which he was always good going forward for Everton, but I think he played more of a defensive role than he did in PSG. He played in a midfield three. He's still a very energetic player, and Everton's got a lot of midfielders, but they're all very different type of midfielders. I think we do need someone with, who's busy like Gana Gueye, he's mobile, get around the pitch, full of energy, disciplined. He's obviously quality-wise, we are missing some quality in the midfield. I think he brings that. I still think we need, well, I don't know if it's what they want, but I personally would want a big number 6, more like a proper natural number 6, someone defensive-minded, someone who sits, who can drop to make a back three. But Everton might not be looking for that. They might be thinking, well, we're going to play a back three and have a midfield two, so two we can, one will stay, one will go. And if that's the way we're looking at playing, then he suits it. But to be honest, he suits any midfield we could play, to be honest. So
yeah, I think what Everton have been missing in the last 3 years is Idrissa Gana Gueye. It's as simple as that. I think we've missed him since the day he left. I think Marco Silva spoke recently about his time at Everton, and obviously he said they were trying to build a young team, and to lose a player like Gana was a big blow for them, especially when his replacement got injured so soon after. We've never truly replaced him, and if it comes down to the fact that we're replacing him with himself, then I don't have too many issues with that in the short term. I think his skill set is far beyond what we've already got at the club. His ability in the Premier League, obviously attracted someone like Paris Saint-Germain, who are a top club, who wanted someone in midfield who was destructive, but also had the energy to put fires out around the pitch, but also someone who's senses that danger, but then wins the ball back and then does the simple thing. I actually think there's more to his game than that. I think we never truly unlocked his potential when he was at Everton. I think he's someone who can carry the ball forward. Whether you'll be required to do that, I don't know. But if you are playing in a 2 and one sits and one goes, then you do need both sides of it rather than just someone who's just going to sit. And I think, he was at Paris Saint-Germain with some top players and he was playing in some big games, because it's not always, you can have a team full of Messi and Neymar and Mbappe, but you need people to do the hard work, the other side of the game. And I think he does that brilliantly. I think it truly is that ability to sense danger and understand, where he needs to be, that allows you to play that 2 midfield. Because he was like 2 plays when he was at Everton. He was his first 6 months at Everton, when he first signed, were absolutely phenomenal. He was unbelievable. And then he tailed off a little bit. I think he went to the African nations, and he tailed off a little bit. And there were question marks about, obviously, things like his passing and stuff. But when he wasn't in the side, you suddenly saw how important he was to the team, and breaking up the play and then getting us on the front foot. And I think that'll be a big skill set, I think, that he'll bring to the club, is being at somewhere like Paris Saint-Germain, understanding that it was his job to break up the play and then release the better players will be a big thing. And of course, he won't be playing with the kind of players he's playing at Paris Saint-Germain, but understanding that role. And again, to about his first 6 months, his last 4 or 5 months at the club, you know, he had Paris Saint-Germain came in for him in January, and we wouldn't let him go. And from then on, he was phenomenal. Those last few months, he was absolutely phenomenal. People may have forgotten how good he was, but he was incredible. The professionalism he showed, and then obviously leaving the club, it was at the time it did feel like it, oh well, he's done his job and he's moving on to bigger things. But when your club doesn't replace them, or obviously we know what happened to Gbamin, so. I just think it's an absolute no-brainer. I think he's still got the energy. He's got the skill set. He's got more of a skill set being at somewhere like Paris Saint-Germain. And I just don't think we've got anyone like him in our midfield right now.
Well, obviously he's been playing with top players and top coaches, top managers, and playing at a team like that, you demanded more. You're not just there to break up play and get the ball. You demanded to get the ball, and you have to have the quality to. Your passing has to be better. Has to be perfect. You have to create chances. You have to score goals, and he's proved he can do that. He's proved he's a better player going forward as well as defending. He played more of a defensive role at Everton, and obviously he left it. We knew he was going in that January. We knew he was going to go in the summer. My thing was, we can sit here and moan about the board all day. We know we've got recruitment wrong, and we should have been replaced. We should already have a replacement for him now. Even though Gbamin's not done so well, we've missed players like Basuma and Chet Decore and Sangari, players like that. But in the short term, we're talking about just as a football ability and coming in, proving our squad. And we've signed players before older than him and certainly past their peak, and he's probably still in his peak, I'd say, or not far from it. We've signed players like Gareth Barry and players like that before he's come in and been massive players for us. And certainly in the short term, we're talking about getting away from the bottom half of the table and trying to get up. What we need, midfielders. We've got depth, but there's not a lot of quality in there. There's not players like Gana Gueye, so he definitely does bring that quality we need, and his numbers have always been phenomenal. I'm sure I'll have a look at them in a minute. But
yeah, and also, I mean, the experience that he's gained as well. This is a player who helped Paris Saint-Germain get to a Champions League final in his first season. He's won a couple of titles there. Obviously he's won cups. He won a Super Cup the other day. He's had brilliant experiences there, and that pressure you were talking about before, the pressure of to win games as well, to win important games, big games, having that like that drive that a lot of our players haven't got or haven't experienced. There's been a lot of talk about the kind of players we've got, and a lot of them have been relegated or have been in those situations. There aren't too many players at Everton, if any, that have been involved in big important games that mean something. Being involved in and around the Champions League final, do you know what I mean? That's huge. I know he wasn't, he didn't play in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich, but just to be part of that and part of the team that got them there is a huge factor. Those day-to-day pressures of winning the title and winning trophies and being involved in the Champions League, they're big games. Paris Saint-Germain have been involved in some really, really big games in the last 3 years while he's been there, and he's played in a lot of those games. Likes of games against Manchester City and Real Madrid and things like that. He's been involved in them, and that's just big experience that he's going to be. That if he does sign for Everton, he'll be bring him with him.
Well, he's even if you're not playing in those big games, you're in it. He's been in it for a few years, since 2019, for 3 years. He's been in a dressing room full of winners, and he'll come back a different character because he'll come back being in a team which expects to win every game. Like, I remember, I can't remember who it was now who said, I think it might have been Wayne Rooney actually. They went to United, and he said they expected wins every game. Where Everton would win an away game, they'd be out celebrating. But Gana Gueye will come in, he'll have that same mentality. He'll expect to win every game, and if players' levels drop off, at PSG, if it happened, there'd be a lot of, unhappy about it. So if that happens at Everton, you can bring that leadership skills and that, that character we need, and say, this isn't good enough. We just lost a game.
One of the reasons why he's surplus of requirements at Paris Saint-Germain is because they are looking for those bigger players, because they haven't achieved that ultimate thing of winning the Champions League. Even though I do think at times they've got the balance completely wrong and have gone far too attack minded and not had more players like Ghana in the team, and the team's been unbalanced. But they're going to be looking for obviously younger options who will get them to where they want to be, which obviously will be the Champions League. And they've had a right clear out in terms of the manager and what they're trying to do as a club, and so it's going to be hopefully it does come off, because I think he's a huge player. But let's just look at his numbers from last season. So games 26, 3 goals, big chances created 3, pass accuracy 93%, his tackles per game 2.3.
I've actually got his stats as well. I'll compare them now. His last season for Everton, so he played 33 games, 26 in his last for PSG. Scored 0 goals. Scored, how many was it for his last season then? Was it 1 or was it 3?
3 goals he scored.
He created no big chances, and the tackles per game is 4.3. So that shows he's playing more a defensive role at Everton. He was busy, but he's been adapted to
the difference
more of a
the difference of playing in Paris Saint-Germain though is that you are pushing on as a team, so more chances are going to be made, and that'll be interesting to see if he does sign, whether that will be something that he'll be asked more to do. But let's just compare his numbers with Alan's numbers from last season. So 28 games, no goals, no big chances created. Pass accuracy is obviously less, 80%. Tackles per game, 2.6. So, and listen, you can look at that and you can say, well, he's playing in the Premier League, and Ghana's playing for Paris Saint-Germain. So obviously there is a difference there. But obviously the pass accuracy, I think, certainly for Ghana, has gone up. And I just think that the difference is, I think Alan is a good player who I think would look better if let's say he was playing next to Ghana. I just think Ghana gets around the pitch better. I think he sees the danger quicker and gets there. And I just think that level is something Everton have been lacking in the last 3 seasons. I think Alan's a good player. I don't always think he's being played correctly at Everton. But I think Ghana just gets around. I think he's more mobile. I think he's just on that higher level. The thing is, I think Paris Saint-Germain actually looked at Alan before they looked at Ghana, and then they obviously brought Ghana in. But I just think Ghana's just at is a better level, and that, as I said, that experience of playing with those better players and playing in those big matches, that could be really, really key to Everton. He's been at the club before. He knows what we're about. He'll slot straight back in. It's a different thing, it's a different regime, different director of football, different manager. But, it's still Goodison Park. It's still the same fans. It's still Finch Farm. It's still Premier League football. And for me, this is a no-brainer that hopefully Everton can get over the line.
Yeah, well, he's a different player to Alan, isn't he, in terms of he's still got his energy in his legs. They're both similar as in, none of them are natural. They don't sit and protect the back four, they're not that type of midfielder, but Alan's not got quite the stamina and the energy and the legs to get around and break up play and get tackles in anymore, and he's not quite got that discipline to sit and play in a 2. He could play in a 3 with a natural number 6 behind him, but like I said, we've not got that, so I think if you're playing a 2 midfield, Ghana's certainly got that legs that we're missing, and discipline as well, to be honest, on the ball. We've said we've been quite wasteful in our own half, getting the ball, trying to get the ball forward. And we saw it against Kiev, trying to get the ball forward. Some of the passes were a bit poor. So if he can come in and he's quite calm on the ball, he's got that bit extra quality. He's been playing with top players to get the ball, turn and take it forward.
But also
one
of the things I've noticed in pre-season as well is the lack of ability to win the ball back as well. Yeah. Certainly on the edge of the box, you look at moments against, I know it's only pre-season, but you look at moments against Minnesota, against Kiev, against Blackpool, Arsenal. There was times when on the edge of the box, players were going over and not being able to force anything with a press or with a tackle, and the ball was just getting moved through them. And I think what he gives us is that ability to break up the play and allow us to then break ourselves. And I just don't think we've got that at the moment.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a massive yes. He does improve Everton, and hopefully Everton can get this over the line, because it would be a really, for me, it'd be a really cute signing. And I know, listen, there's issues over his age and possibility of his wages and that kind of thing. But Everton have got to be clever. Everton have got to be clever. I know there's not a massive amount of money around, but they've still got to be at it in the Premier League, and they need players who can be at it. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Idrissa Gana Gueye would improve this Everton team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, daily live videos, exclusives, head over to Toffee TV Premier. The link is in the description and it'll be on the screen in a second. Thanks for watching. See you later.